Hello everyone, my name is Rituro, and this is my life in Silver League. My opponents today, a level 35 Bronze Leaguer named Duck Sauce, and a level 41 Silver Leaguer named Mr. Boomba. We are on Catherine Square, and yes, it's we. Joining me today, a level 38 Silver Leaguer, my best friend, the guy who got me into StarCraft, Eolan. We are playing up the top right corner. We are Terrans, Purple Terran, and the Teal Terran. Eolan is purple, myself as teal. And down in the bottom, we have the blue Protoss, that being, that is, I believe, Mr. Boomba. Yes, it is. And red Terran is Duck Sauce. And already, early on, Eolan getting a quick scout off here, but he misses like ships in the night. The Terran and the Protoss probes, or the workers, pass each other, and off goes the probe. Now, Catherine Square is an interesting spawn location, because if you aren't careful, it will just slip by, just barely out of view. If you're not paying attention, those workers will slip by. And now in the back line is that probe, but by the same token, Eolan's managed the same thing in their back line. So already proxies everywhere, and there's the pylon. Early warps already, or at the very least a proxy has been placed. So it is suddenly looking very good here for the Boomba Duck Sauce combo. For his part, Duck Sauce sending out an SCV as well. While we're getting underway here, I typically don't cast 2v2s, though considering the positive response I get on the YouTube channel whenever I do, I really should make a point of doing that. So in response to that, I made sure as soon as Eolan and I had this match that I said, hey, do you mind if I cast this? He said, go right ahead. This was a ton of fun. And sure enough, Eolan and I, we are very proud of this match, as you will soon see. The scout here is going to be picked off as he attempts to try and take down the probe. He's not going to win that fight. And down goes the scout. Meanwhile, in the back line of ours, that pylon is up, and Duck Sauce has started a proxy barracks. The double wall off there, not complete, but it doesn't matter. He's got the barracks done and an early forge. So are we going to be seeing perhaps an attempted cannon rush, proxy rush? Very interesting indeed. Meanwhile, I've got my orbital up and underway. I have my first supply was done, my first barracks also underway, going for Reapers to try and harass. However, having just been realized that, wait a minute, they know we're back there. Do we know what's going on back here? And sure enough, I will thankfully do my part and spot the double proxy here. The barracks will actually float over, and I will raise the alarm here. Eolan and I use voice comms whenever we play StarCraft together, so I'm already shouting on the mic at this point, proxy, 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 and sure enough, the line is emptied. Along comes the team. As many SCVs as we can fit around that pylon. The probe will be trapped. It goes down, canceling there. One Marine does get through. It will, however, be instantly surrounded. Doesn't even get the kill. The barracks will float off, however. There are two more on the way. Duck Sauce fully committing to this proxy, even though the probe has been defeated. The pylons were taken down and the gateway has been canceled. That has not stopped Mr. Boomba. He has gone back to his main. The cannon rushing apparently has been completely abandoned. However, he now realizes, oh dear. And well, he does do a good job here of microing away the probe, so I can't do much with this Reaper. I am doing it. I want that probe. I want that weakened probe. Thank you very much. Am I going to get it? No. The body blocking there by those probes, exemplary. I will manage to try and chase this down here. The more important thing, though, is even though I am not able to actually do anything about this, he has stopped mining completely. There is not a single probe mining, and really, that's a good thing for me. There are no minerals being gathered by Boomba. I am doing my job. Meanwhile, I will manage to pick off the SCV at home here. It stops the mining for Duck Sauce as well. But see, that's not as huge an issue, because meanwhile, there are 3 barracks pumping out Marines here at our main. And while my Marine defends here, seeing nothing and no returning proxies, I'm cool to leave. And it's a good thing that I do, because here come 3, 6, 8 Marines right up the front door. One Marine's not going to hold that off. Down he goes quickly, and all of a sudden I realize, oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no. I've got 3 barracks I'm running on my own here, but it's not nearly enough considering that the 3 barracks of Duck have been pumping up Marines this entire time. I only just have add-ons on mine. SCV's completely pulled off the line here. I will join as well. It's a complete SCV pull-off. Plenty of SCVs killed here as a result, though. As we try and get our units on the field, this initial rush will be fended off though at a cost of many workers. My own Reaper actually coming home to try and help out here with the defense. And my the SCVs very nearly do the scouting for Proxy themselves, but instead it will be the Marine checking out what's happening. Sensing perhaps, wait a minute, are we in Proxy territory here? And sure enough, the Reaper will realize, oh yeah, we're being Proxy rushed. 2 supply depots, even 3 supply depots, to try and keep that supply block lifted. As the Reaper will try and bait out some Marines to go to the high ground, hopping the high ground, getting that high ground advantage point. Instead, meanwhile, back home, I have a bunker sitting at my main base. I was thinking I might see some Reapers. I'm seeing a lot worse than that now. Reactor coming online, Stim Pack being researched. I have Stim done. I do not believe Duck Sauce has Stim done. Instead, he has a bunker going down now to try and protect this Proxy. Not a bad idea. Meanwhile, back home, 4 Zealots on the way here from this 2-gate Protoss play. Does have the Cybernetics Core up and running, working on a 3rd gateway. No Warp Gate tech as of yet, because only now is he just getting gas on the single assimilator, so really committing to this rush, or it was going to be a rush here, are the team of Boomba and Duck Sauce. But meanwhile, the Rituro Eolan combo, we have kept, this is actually a good idea by Eolan, throwing down the refinery just to keep an eye on what's happening down there. Make sure we don't get surprised. Meanwhile, as I bait this army out right in full view of this Marine, getting some good hits here, no one dying, but plenty of damage being done, which is exactly what I want. Am I gonna get a kill there? Not quite. But that's the whole point. There's the kill. That's the point here, is to whittle down this army, get them weakened so that we have time to build up our own army. We can at least try and hopefully with some good micro, keep things under wraps here. Meanwhile, the Widowmine's getting a little too close for comfort. That one will go down, but the second one will stay alive and will get a shot off here as soon as those Zealots move into range. And bam! There's the shot. 1 Zealot down, 1 heavily weakened. Up goes the front door. Thank goodness, too, the Marines will get into that bunker, and the front door has indeed been locked down. Is it going to be enough? Down goes 1 Zealot. It's going to be focused pretty heavily. No SCVs trying to defend the bunker, so the front door will collapse fairly quickly, but the Zealots are down already. Booba's contribution to this rush is done and over. But there's still a ball of Marines here. Widowmine moving in. Will it be able to bury in time? No, it will not. Gotta bury those early, Eolan. And more importantly, we have a large ball of Marines walking up the front door with 1 Zealot in support here. Hellions on the way now for me as I try to counter this light army brigade of Marines with my own light killers. And while off the line comes Eolan's SCVs again, completely emptying his economy. It's going to be wonders to weaken Duck Sauce's ball of Marines here as Eolan's production goes absolutely down the toilet. Thankfully, he's focusing down the barracks, and here come the Hellions. And down to a few Marines, but the Hellions taking the brunt of the damage here as we try and kite them back onto this bunker, trying my best to micro around this. Another Marine is going to walk out of his rally point and die instantly. Remember, this is actually a good angle for me. That conga line of doom is exactly what I want. That's the angle I want, as I'm slowly picking off these weakened Marines. Good micro here to try and bait them into the bunker, and I do, and suddenly this Marine ball with no reinforcements behind it. Only now are the reinforcements coming out here. Suddenly, we've defended this, actually. I mean, we've lost, Eolan's lost his entire economy, most of his production, and we're still not out of the woods. I unfortunately wasted Mule trying to save that supply depot. Not good. I think they're not supply blocking. We'll move that barracks back and try and get it repaired. As for my high ground Marine is doing his job there. Widowmine hit takes down a single Marine. Not super efficient, but it's enough to get the kill. As the Marines realize, hey, wait a minute. Didn't we have an army here at one point? Well, Eolan is floating a ton of minerals, just not able to spend it as fast as he wants. I do have an army in defense. I lost all of my add-ons, lost my stim research, but I have a siege tank on the field, and as soon as you have a siege tank up against Bio, suddenly you are back in with a shout. Taking a look at the bases here. There's the 4 gate with the robos. Double robo here for Boomba, so he's actually moving up the tech tree, if not actually contributing heavily. Meanwhile, it's pure Proxy, 4 barracks, nothing else for Duck Sauce. Both players are expanding to their low ground here, which is good for them. As well done here by Eolan. He's got a siege tank on the high ground, sieging down that barracks, which will be forced to lift off, delaying production. Excellent work there to push this rush back, which actually blunted here from the front door. Now this would be one moment. It's going to be a dangerous. Oh, actually, good job there. Sights the good job by the Widowmine to sight the Marine. Now, you don't want to get too close to that bunker. However, it is going to be able to sight the bunker for that siege tank. Extra will he get the salvage in time? I don't think he's going to be able to salvage this. And he doesn't even try. Kaboom! Down goes the bunker. Well done, Mr. Siege Tank. Meanwhile, I have my expansion up. Only mules mining it right now, though it is an orbital, which is good. It's better than nothing. Having lost so much of the economy in those assaults, trying to get things back online as quick as possible. I do have idle SCVs here, which is not good. Gotta get these guys working. Now we're getting onto it. Trying to get more minerals out the door, getting a reactor up and running here as we try to repair those damaged units that held on so bravely. Meanwhile, the Observer doing an excellent job there of taking down the high ground siege tank. Unfortunate. I also think that the Widow Mine as well. That's not good. But the good part is we have double siege tank on the high ground and we are not afraid to use it just out of range of that missile turret as well. As Duxos getting his combat shields up, which is a good idea. Meanwhile, Stim on the way for me here. Combat shield before Stim, it looks like, for Duxos, which is going to give me an advantage if I can get that Stim done. And it looks like I will, since this tech lab is fairly well defended. Double siege tank on the high ground. Meanwhile, production for Boomba has fallen off completely as he just waits, using all of his money here to warp in 4 gate at a time. Stalker Zealot, which is not a bad idea, all things considered. Proxy Factory not on the way for Duxos as he goes for those Hellions. Or is this going to be a, my apologies, it's going to be a tech lab. It's going to be, oh, it's going to be siege tanks. Oh, lovely. Meanwhile, moving forward here with his add-ons is Duxos, trying to end this thing with a proxy. Now, they've got us contained pretty heavily. I mean, that's a scary ball. Mixed in with Immortals, that is a very, very scary prospect. And the Zealots are actually going to lead the line here as the reactor's not quite done. Hellions trying to burn their way through it, and it's going to be a fairly heavy. However, they're balled up here. The Marines actually holding the army back, creating artificial choke points. And that choke point will actually be enough for us to hold on to this. No micro, no time for it. Just hold the line, focus down, and the focus fire will hold siege tank check up at just the right time. And we hold off that entire ball thanks to that choke point. What they need to do there was run up, fan out, focus fire, and there, oh my goodness, that Observer moves into the exact wrong area. And down it goes, the scan revealing that there is a proxy starport with reactor on the way. Duxos committing 100%. He's got some basic defenses back home. Got an engineering bay up, nothing off of it though. No missile turrets, nothing. Gas isn't even being fully optimized here. Then again, it's turn, you don't really need to. Still, economy is not the best here. He's focusing purely on aggression. And while that's all well and good to get aggression, if you don't have the economy to back it up, you're going to be in trouble. I am trying my best here to get my own economy up and running in the face of all this aggression. It's going decently, but certainly could be better, which is why I have 3 starports now coming out of my double reactor barracks with 1 more. Stim is done. Level 1 weapons are on the way to try to get at least, weapons are up for level 1 weapons. There we go. Are coming up for Duxos. Very good indeed. My high-sec auto-tracking is complete, giving me the ability to scan for those things, such as proxy observers. A bit of a lull here as the 2 armies try and get their footings. That high ground scout there, good idea there for Eolan. Make sure we aren't going to get Reaper jumped, and at the very least, make sure if they make the silly mistake to walk up right past us, we get some pot shots at them. Siege tanks on the way for both of us to try and hold that high ground, keep the bio ball from walking up. There's the scan by Duxosing. Okay, they are defended yet again, and they do not care for us. On the low ground, they will try a light contain here. However, I have decided I've had enough of this nonsense, and I've gone straight 3 tech labs, going Cloak, going Banshee. I've got the resources to do it. Got the minerals for the bio. I have just enough gas to get Banshees out the door here. As you can see, my production tree has gone full bore here. Meanwhile, back home at Casa del... Ooh, double engineering bay, actually, for Duxos. He has an armory as well, which you would think mean he's going to go either Hellbats with the reactor, possibly Thor's with the tech lab. But regardless, a 4th barracks now done here. No base taken here, so no planetary to fall back to or anything. Just going pure aggression, pure proxy. Scan there by Eolan, allowing him a quick pot shot with the siege tanks. 4 siege tanks on the side here. Banshee's joining them as well as this small contain continues. Thank you, goodbye, Mr. Scouting Observer. Now, I think that SCV was spotted, and indeed it was, because here goes the Observer to see as I try and get my third base down, spending my minerals quick so I can get them. Meanwhile, the Banshees here, nobody paying attention here as I go for the supply block. Only 65 supply here for Duck Sauce compared to 86 for Eolan. This is the maximum, of course, and 102 for myself, so the supplies are rapidly favoring myself here as I try to keep the supply in the red, and that should burn down, and if nothing, supply block ever so briefly Duck Sauce. Now, is he going to respond to this? He's going for Vikings, which is not a horrible idea to try and get air superiority, especially to counter those Banshees. Not bad at all, but unfortunately, I am going to, with this, oh no, he does at the last second get an SCV there, clutch repair there from the SCV. Now what I see over here is I see another 4 gates down on the low ground, so at the very least the expansion, the gates, the 3 robo, and a Stargate, so you can't accuse them of not diversifying their tech. What I will say there is that this all Terran, or 3 Terran and 1 Protoss affair, so TTVTP affair, not much economy going on by our enemies there, which is fine by me, because goodness knows it gave us a chance to get back into this game. I've almost mined out my main, so which is a good thing I have my secondary up and running here, though I definitely need a little more saturation. Eolan doing a much better job of getting his bases saturated here to try and get that economy back on track. Thankfully, I hear the wonderful sounds of, unfortunately, the wonderful sounds of a medvac for the enemy. 3 Widow Mines here on the high ground, waiting to bury, waiting for the call. Hey, boss, you want us to bury here? Good idea. Not quite yet, though. Meanwhile, my Banshees, waiting. 3 done here. 3 more on the way. Worker transfer taking place now as we try and get the base up and running. There's the scan by, I think that's going to be a scan by, what was this? Proxy there by Blue, by Boomba. Where was that scan? Might have been just general scan by them to see what we have going on in our backline. There's the scan revealing the Banshees as they get too close. However, good job there by the Widow Mine. Unfortunately, it will be scanned and spotted. It will not be attacked, though, for some reason. Why is it not attacking? Was it given the stop command? Very strange. Meanwhile, the Banshees, the Observer detects them, but not before they take out the the pylon. No ability to warp in. However, there's a warp prism and a backup pylon, so Boomba's ability to bring reinforcements is only temporarily disabled, and the Banshees will retreat. Another scan going down now as I am forced to cancel out this building of a command center. And I swing the army around as the scan reveals, as I make sure he knows that I have a full army here, and it's a decent sized one. Can we look at the army supplies? We can active forces here. I'm actually leading this now. I am supply blocked with the loss of that command center. It wasn't canceled, it was right flat out defeated. Good hit there by the Widow Mine. But I have now recovered Eolan as well, as we have actually passed Duck Sauce. He is supply blocked and on a very low supply. Meanwhile, the warp prism drop is good. Will the command center get away? That's what we want to know. It unfortunately will be taken down. Very unfortunate, but this army will be absolutely obliterated. All that energy, enough for a mule gone as well. But this army is taken down completely. The warp prism as well, just obliterated. And in response, out come the rest of the army. There are the siege tanks saying goodbye, Mr. Bio. Down goes the Observer, down goes the missile turret, and suddenly all this production is in deep trouble. Mech level 1 on the way here for Duck Sauce, but more importantly, I am building my command center up again. Eolan giving me cover with some SCVs, not the big army to cover with, but it doesn't matter because out come Thors! Eolan with the Thor, the mech mixed in with the bio, and this contain is choked. No response here whatsoever. As the combined Terran might, we were rushed, we were hard rushed, things were looking bad. Eolan sacrificed his entire economy twice, and instead we have gone up the tech tree, we have countered, and this ball army is going to march straight through the proxy and eliminate it. The barracks will try to run, it's not going to happen. And suddenly, scanning revealing no base, which I found a little bit shocking. I thought for sure there would be a planetary, but instead there is not. The last of the proxy will be taken down as this Hellion will actually chase down the probe. Goodbye, Mr. Probe. So I keep a Hellion reserve, and it will scout ahead. The army actually double supply depot drop here. For Duxos tries to alleviate his supply block in the most drastic way possible. Got 3 Marauders on the way now here. And that Hellion will indeed fall to the Stalker's hero Hellion thing down, but the problem is when you have a bunch of Banshees on the way, it doesn't matter. Down goes the pylon, depowering that gateway. Colossi arriving just in the nick of time, so this actually is not too bad. Here's a good counter to Bio. Is Colossus held that? But when the problem is it's not all bio, you've got air and you've got mech, and when those air are targeting your pylons, you might be in a bit of trouble. Down goes the rebuff facility as an extended thermal lance is on the way. Down go all the production facilities for Boomba. He's suddenly in a lot of trouble. Duxos, having lost most of his production before when the Proxy fell, is in a bit of trouble here. He's got some economy to speak of, and certainly there is plenty of production on the low ground here for the Protoss player, but the problem is they have just lost all of their army. The counter-attack, the counter-rush, the hey, we've been proxied by you all game, why don't we just come in and whack you in the face with our entire army is here. And down go the main bases. Good job here by Eolan on the back of his, taking his revenge, taking 3 bases, spending his minerals in the most quick way possible, the quickest way possible. 1,200 minerals down, and down go the main bases. Going down now to the low ground as we take care of this set of thermal lance. About, I want to say 2/5 done. It's going to be removed. And the army just taking a breather there, making sure that everything's been taken care of, building off the back of this. And Duxos is done, having found his expansion, having found his hero expansion. It's over. Duxos is done. Scans revealing the bases. Ooh, Templar. Boomba deciding, hey, I got all your money? Well, that's great. I'm going to build everything. And Templar Archive, not a bad idea. Getting Psystorm up and running. Now, the question is, do we get there in time to stop it? I don't think we do. It's going to be a complete kill-off here, though, of Duxos. No Terran production or facility are going to be here. In fact, this transmitter is in the red. It will burn down. The Banshees coming in support to take down the very last vestiges of this base. And Eolan on the low ground taking out the expansion. So this isn't going to be tried to be safe. He could warp out some units before they fall over to his pylons, and he has done some, it would appear, but not enough. Only 4 zealots holding this base. Now, if you take a look here at the view, we haven't actually scanned over here just yet, so he's got a bit of time as we both work on alleviating our supply blocks, on getting units on the field. Duxos has been revealed. Well, we know that it's just 3 SCVs. We don't really care. Instead, down will go the final bases at the back here, making sure all these buildings fall in full. As Ian comes back, look at all those siege tanks. I took mech seriously. I had 2 factories. I'm like, it's going to be all siege tank all the time. Some bio, and certainly plenty of Banshee Ravens now on the way, as well as I want to make sure if there are anything hidden, any hidden units, any Dark Templar, any observers, that we are able to see them and kill them. Meanwhile, my natural is completely oversaturated now as I overcompensate for my previous supply block. Siege tank on the low ground to protect against any drops. Probably because these worker transfers sooner than later, as my level 1 weapons are finally underway. A bit late there on the tech upgrade. There's the scan. There's the reveal. Lots of pylons. I didn't realize this. You could assault this from the back if you wanted to. Did not realize that. As you'll see, we went straight for the frontal assault. No subtlety here whatsoever. The siege tanks draw out some of the army. Eolan's Ravens moving in, dropping in the turrets. It's going to be evaporated fairly quickly here. It's getting a great scout off on the base. There are the Templars trying to get enough energy up for their Psystorm. It is reaching space, good to go. There's the Storm, drop 1. For the drop 2, it's going to get some bio, but not nearly enough. And the Banshee's cloak will just walk into the middle of the remaining army and just make it vaporize. Yeah, we could have gone the back door. We thought, you know what, nah, let's just walk the front door, go the brute force, take the sledgehammer, and knock this base down. The Ravens will move into the mineral line, try and go after the probes, but there's a seeker missile action. We're going to try and go after the stalkers. It will, and one on the probes as well. Good job there, Violet. All should go after the workers, hurt the economy. Boom! Down go the shields. Boomba has had it. He has done the Eolan Rituro combo, just like we did in 98. Takes down a Terran Protoss ball. So what I will say about this, folks, is if you are being rushed, if your base has been hit by what appears to be an endless stream of Proxy, defend like you mean it. Bunker up, front door up, get anti-bio, and you can win, just like we did here in My Life in Silver League. That's going to do it for this special 2-on-2 episode. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. If you like what you've seen, please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, follow either here on youtube.ca/steelswords or twitch.tv/Rituro, where all these episodes are recorded live. And of course, you can follow me on Twitter at @ThatRituroGuy. Once again, my name is Rituro. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and we will see you next time.